Welcome to Lesson 19B, Displaying Data in MVC. Most web applications display data from a database. In this lesson, I show you how to use the data layer that you created in the previous lesson to display data in an ASP.NET MVC application. To use the data layer from the previous lesson, you must first add a reference to the assembly. You can do this a couple of ways. One, you can add the data layer project to the current solution and add a reference to the data layer project, or you can add a reference directly to the data layers assembly, or DLL. Either way, you need to add the connection string to the web.config that you used when you created the data layer. View data can be used to pass the values from a controller to the view. However, a better way to pass values is to use a strongly typed view. In this lesson, you use the data layer that you created in Lesson 18 to display data in an ASP.NET MVC application. The lesson requirements are the datalayer.dll created in Lesson 18, the recipes.mdf file used in Lesson 18, and the connection string text file. Your hint for this lesson is don't forget to check the Create a Strongly Typed View checkbox when you create the views. Before you start this lesson, verify that the recipes.mdf file is not read-only. Okay, we're good to go. Now select New Project, Web, ASP.NET MVC2 Web Application, enter Lesson 19B for the name of the application, and click the OK button. Right-click the References, click the .NET tab, and scroll down till you find the System.Data.Entity component, and click the OK button. Now right-click the References again. This time click the Browse tab, and navigate to the datalayer.dll file, which should be in your data layer folder in your bin, debug, and there it is. Now open the connection string.txt file, Control A, Control C to copy it, go into the web.config, into the connection strings element, and Control V to paste that. Now we have to add an assembly. So go to the assembly section and add that. And select Build to build the application. Now open this Site Master and add a tab for category. Category, you're going to have an index action method and a category. Now we need to add two views. So open the Views folder and create a category folder. The first one is going to be called Index. Create a strongly typed view, type category, and the view content will be a list, and then click the Add button. And this is the default view for a strongly typed model that it's using. Here it is, the data layer category. Now let's add another view. Select Add View. Call this view Details. Leave the strongly typed view checked. Category. This time we're going to use the Details view content. And then click the Add button. See, this one just displays the one item. Now let's add a controller. Go to Add Controller, change the name of the controller to the Category Controller, and click the Add Action Methods to create, update, delete, and details scenarios. So we need to import the data layer, so add the using statement at the top. and set our recipe database entities to be named entity and set that to a new database, recipe database entities. There we go. Now we can update the index action method. Put a little bit of link to entities in here. Or set the categories from C in entity categories, order by C name, and then select C. And this returns a view, but it's a strongly typed view, so we need to change this to category. Now, we need to update the details action item. And once again, we're going to use linked entities. So var category is equal to from C in underscore entity categories, where C ID is equal to the ID, because we're going to do a search. We're going to select C. And in this case, we want to get the first one, or if nothing is selected, we want it to return the default value for a category. And this view returns a category. Notice the index returns a collection of categories, while the details view is going to action method is going to return one category. Click F5 to run it. Click F5 to run the application. Click the Category tab. And there's your list of categories. Click the Details tab. There's the details about the casserole. And then go back.